Welcome to Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Hello and welcome to Arsenal Kids Podcast. My name is Ben and I'm without my co-host Madi this time around, but that's okay. But it is still great to have you join us for this episode, which is number 125. And this time on Arsenal Kids Podcast, we're going to look at how David Raya's Spain defeated England in the Euros, along with some other international news from our women's players, and in particular, the impressive work of our under-19 England women. And then in part two, we're going to look at the players that are back in training at London Colney and two of our men's first team players who are headed out on loan for this upcoming season. So that is all to come. But a quick reminder that we would love for you to help us to grow our Arsenal Kids community. You can do that by liking, reviewing, or most easily sharing our content to your family and friends, either by telling them in person that they need to listen or doing so on social media, because we would love for more people to join us on this adventure together. But let's go straight to the European Championships, where David Raya was part of a Spanish team that defeated England 2-1 in the final. Commiserations therefore go to Aaron Ramsdale, Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka, all who were part of another memorable tournament for the Three Lions, but they were not able to lift the trophy again this time around. You might remember that in the group stages, David played 90 minutes and he also kept the clean sheet as Spain defeated Albania 1-0. And he, along with Aaron Ramsdale, were on the bench for this final, with both Declan and Bukayo playing the full game on the pitch. And it was Spain, though, through Nico Williams, who opened the scoring shortly after halftime. But when Cole Palmer got England back into the game with his 73rd minute equaliser, it was game on. However, that didn't last as Spain found a late winner, courtesy of their substitute Mikel Oyarzabal, who scored in the 86th minute, and Spain then held on to clinch their fourth Euros title, which makes them the most successful nation in the competition's history. It also means that my prediction on who would win was incorrect, but I blame that in part to the England manager for not following my advice and playing either Watkins or Tony up front from the start. But anyway, congratulations to David and to Spain. And to those four players involved with their national teams, they're now going to take some time off before joining up with the team, and that will probably be after they come back from their pre-season trip to the US of A. Now on to other international news, and let's move to the women's team players, where the Lionesses, captained by Leah Williamson, they defeated Ireland 2-1 to keep their chances of defending their European Championship alive. After just 5 minutes, Beth Mead played a beautiful one-touch pass through to Russo, who rounded the Irish keeper with ease and slotted home the opening goal. Now, as long as they don't lose their next game, they will qualify. In other games, Manuela Zinsberger and Lara Weinreuter played 90 minutes for Austria, who are set to enter the playoffs, having not achieved automatic qualification. Frida Mornum's Norway, of which she played for over an hour as they drew with Finland, means that any of the teams in Group A1 could qualify as they come in to the final game to play. And Spain, who have already qualified, they had a surprise loss to Czechia, with Laya Kodina making a late substitute appearance off the bench this time around. Over in a friendly match between Australia and Canada, as both of those teams look towards their involvement in the Olympic Games, it was Kyra Kunikros who played the full game for the Matildas, with Chloe Lacasse featuring for over an hour for the Canadians. Unfortunately, both Steph Catley, the Australian captain, and also Caitlin Ford were withdrawn from the team lineups due to injury. So let's hope that they are ready to go in a short while for those Olympic Games. Emily Fox also played for a bit over an hour for the USA as they defeated Mexico in their own Olympic-friendly warm-up game. And now, lastly, you might remember we spoke about the 5 young Lionesses who are going to be part of the England squad to play in the Under-19 Euro campaign in Lithuania. Well, they were all stars of the show as they defeated the hosts 10-0 in what is the biggest scoreline ever recorded. Michelle Adjumang, she scored a hat-trick and also got an assist. Viviana Leah assisted and also scored a well-taken volley. And both Freya Godfrey and Madi Earl combined well for the final goal. Katie Reid in defence, she kept a clean sheet during her 90 minutes on the pitch as well. So while I don't think that scoreline's going to be repeated in a hurry, they now will face the young Lionesses, Serbia, in the next game. But look, let's leave the international team highlights here in part 1, and then we'll be right back with part number 2 after this. Welcome back. And like I said at the start, some of the players, particularly those who are not in either the European Championships or the Copa America action, they have returned to London Colney Sober Training Centre for action as the pre-season for the men's team begins. So already back, we were pleased to see Martin Odegaard, Takahiro Tomiyasu, Eddie Nketiah, Urian Timber, Ben White, Reece Nelson, Gabriel Jesus, Thomas Partey, Fabio Vieira and Emile Smith-Rowe. And it was good to see Mikel Arteta, who was on hand to put them through their paces on the first day back. For the women's team, and 3 of the squad were back on the training pitch prior to their pre-season officially beginning. And they was captain Kim Little, who was joined by Lotte Wubben-Moy and Stina Blackstenius. Both of those last 2 were unable to join their national teams in this international window due to injury, and they have continued their rehabilitation back at home. Both of the men's and women's players, they were decked out in their new Arsenal training gear, and I'm sure there will be a lot more of that to drop over the coming weeks as the 2nd and 3rd kits get launched, along with a whole swag of new season gear. And talking of the new season, first we're going to talk about 2 of the men's team first team players who have joined other clubs again on loan for this campaign. First up, let's talk about Nuno Tavares, who has joined Serie A side Lazio for the season on loan, after our 24-year-old defender spent last season on loan with Nottingham Forest. Since joining the club from Benfica in July of 2021, Tavares has made 28 appearances for the Gunners, but recently spent the last 2 seasons on loan. This step in his career is a great opportunity for him to develop further by gaining valuable experience in Serie A and Italian football, and we wish him all the best at Lazio. The other player headed out on loan is Albert Sambi Lokonga, who has joined La Liga side Seville on a season-long loan as well. The 24-year-old midfielder spent last season with Luton Town, where he made 17 Premier League appearances in the Hatters' first season back in top-flight football for over 30 years. Sambi became an integral part of that team, producing strong performances throughout the campaign. Since Sambi joined the club also in July of 2021 from Anderlecht, he has appeared 39 times for the Gunners in all competitions. He also spent time on loan with Crystal Palace prior to last season. So this next step in Sambi's career represents a great opportunity for our Belgian international midfielder to further fulfill his potential by competing at a higher level in a top European league. Okay, well, that's about all that's happening around the club at the moment, so let's wrap it up for this episode. There's going to be more news, no doubt, and I'm going to be joined by Madi again in our next episode. But thanks again for joining us at Arsenal Kids Podcast. We want to express our gratitude for your continued support. And if you haven't already, follow, like, and subscribe to stay up to date so you don't miss any episodes in the future. Remember, it is your love for the beautiful game that fuels our passion, so please spread the word about Arsenal Kids, and we hope to join you back on the pitch again soon. So keep the spirit of the game alive, and until next time, goodbye.